The blizzard did not care who you were. On Caldrum Outpost, the wind cared about one thing: taking heat. Liam Ross pulled his scarf higher and kept walking through Sector 7, where the lights were dead and the buildings leaned like tired animals. The mine shut down 3 years ago. Most people left. About 40 stayed. Stubborn, broke, or both. Liam was both. He kicked snow off a frozen latch and yanked the door of an old maintenance shed open. Inside were dead machines and rusted tools. Nothing worth carrying. Liam turned to leave. A thin whimper stopped him. Not wind. Not metal. Alive. He stepped in, headlamp cutting a narrow path through the dark. A toppled storage container blocked the back corner. The sound came from behind it. Liam shoved the container aside. Ice scraped. Wood cracked. 2 small bodies lay curled together in a hollow beneath the floor plating. Scales. Folded wings. Long necks tucked tight. Dragons. Real dragons. Twins, by size and shape. One charcoal grey. One pale silver, frost crusted along its ridge. Both were shaking. One watched him with pale, sick eyes. The other did not move at all. Liam knelt, hands open. He did not know if hatchlings bit, or clawed, or burned. But he knew dying. "Hey," he whispered. "I'm here." The grey hatchling blinked once. The silver hatchling dragged in a wet, rattling breath. Liam's fear tried to lock his muscles. He did not let it. He pulled off his thermal parka. The cold hit him like a punch. He wrapped both hatchlings in the parka anyway. They were cold as metal. Too light. Too thin. "Okay," Liam said, voice shaking. "I've got you." He lifted them and ran. His habitat was a cramped prefab box with one heater that complained every winter. He slammed the door, cranked the heat, and piled every blanket he owned on top of the hatchlings. Then he stood there, shaking, staring at the choice he had just made. There were dragon families in the central sector. Everyone called them the Verkle. Proud. Formal. Ancient. Outsiders did not touch Verkle young. Finding abandoned hatchlings made no sense. Dragons were famous for devotion to family. And yet here were 2 babies left to freeze under a broken floor. Liam grabbed his comm unit and called the colony administrator. Sandra W. answered, tired and sharp. "Ross. What happened?" "I found 2 dragon hatchlings," Liam said. "Sector 7. They are dying. I need their people." Silence. Then, "Stay where you are. Do not move them again. I'm making calls." An hour crawled by. Liam tried giving water. The hatchlings would not drink. The silver one stayed limp. The grey one watched him, breathing shallow, like each breath cost something. The comm beeped. Sandra sounded careful, like she was walking on glass. "I reached the Verkle liaison," she said. "They confirmed 2 hatchlings were left behind during an evacuation." "How long?" Liam asked. 6 months. Liam felt heat rise behind his ribs. They left babies for 6 months. "The liaison says it's complicated," Sandra rushed. "Dishonor law. Eclipse birth protocol. They are deciding what to do." Deciding. Liam looked at the silver hatchling. "They're dying right now." "Ross, Verkle law is strict," Sandra said. "Outsiders are not supposed to interfere. You could start a diplomatic incident." "If I stop, they die," Liam said. Sandra did not answer. Liam made his second choice. "Tell them I have their hatchlings," he said. "Tell them if they want to discuss protocol, they can do it while I keep these kids alive." He ended the call. Then he did what he could. Warm water. Human antibiotics. A dropper. Tiny amounts. Slow breaths. He fed the silver hatchling until it swallowed by reflex. He fed the grey one until its eyes steadied. "You're going to be okay," Liam whispered. "Both of you." He had no right to promise. He promised anyway. By midnight, He built a heat pocket around the bed using spare thermal plates and a top. The shaking eased. The breathing smoothed. At 3 in the morning, the silver hatchling finally opened its eyes. Dark. Almost black. It stared at Liam, then made a tiny rumble. Relief. Safe, Liam whispered. You're safe. 4 days later, they ate. The grey one snatched tiny pieces of a ration bar and chirped for more. The silver one ate slow and careful. Color returned. Eyes cleared. They started to explore. The grey one bit the heater vent. The silver one stole Liam's socks and got tangled, then glared at the socks like they were criminals. You two are trouble, Liam said. He was smiling. That morning, an official call hit his comm. A deep voice filled the room, cold as iron. Magistrate Corvin. Verkal Concord. You are harboring hatchlings belonging to our people. I rescued them, Liam said. They were dying. The circumstances are internal Verkal matters, Corvin replied. You had no authority to intervene. So I should have left them, Liam said. They were born under the eclipse tide, Corvin said. Their clutch carries stain. Protocol requires nature to resolve the error. Liam looked at 2 small bodies alive because he broke protocol. I don't care about your protocol, Liam said. I care about the kids you abandoned. A pause. Then, sharper. They cannot be raised among our people. A delegation arrives within the week. You will surrender them. Returned where? Liam asked. That is not your concern, Corvin said. The line cut. Across the floor, the hatchlings wrestled, chirping like joy was something new. Liam searched Verkal law and found the truth buried under clean words. Eclipse-born hatchlings were labeled curses. Families who kept them lost status. Some chose exile. Some chose release. Release meant abandonment. Abandonment, under colonial statute, could be treated as salvage. A thin thread. But a thread. Liam called Talia Reid, an interspecies lawyer. They will call you a kidnapper, Talia said. We will call you a rescuer. We can file for emergency guardianship under salvage doctrine, but the Verkal will push hard. They can push, Liam said. I'm not handing them back to die. All right, Talia said. I'm in. Liam gave the twins simple names. Spark for the grey one. Glass for the silver one. They learned the names in 2 days. On the 8th day, a shuttle landed. 3 Verkal elders stepped out in ceremonial armor, eyes gold, scales deep red and black. Liam stood in the administration hall beside a hovering holo of Talia. Produce the hatchlings, Corvin said. Not until legal status is set, Talia replied. They are Verkal, Corvin snarled. This human has no claim. They were abandoned for 6 months, Talia said. That changes everything. Corvin leaned toward Liam. Continue, and your life will become very difficult. Liam met his molten eyes. Then it gets difficult. The elders left without the twins. That night, Liam sat on the floor beside the bed and listened to the heater struggle. Spark slept with its head tucked near Liam's elbow. Glass curled tighter, eyes half open, watching the door. Liam realized something that made his throat tight. They were not just alive. They were starting to trust. He adjusted the blankets and the thermal plates, careful and slow, like the smallest mistake could break them. Whatever they call you, he whispered, I call you mine. Glass's tail flicked once, then settled. Spark made a tiny contented sound, and Liam felt his fear shift into resolve. Winter tightened. Spark and Glass grew fast, and the fight stopped being quiet. Some colonists supported Liam. Some feared the dragons. Henry Phillips filed a complaint. Dragons were predators, he said. They would hurt someone. Sandra warned Liam, this is going to get harder. Outside Sandra's office, 2 kids peeked around a corner at Spark and Glass. Their mother pulled them back, whispering a warning like it was a prayer. Spark noticed and tilted its head, confused. Glass lowered its body, making itself smaller on purpose. Liam saw that, and the anger in him cooled into something steadier. "See," he told Sandra. "They understand fear. They just don't deserve it." Sandra's mouth tightened. "I know," she said. "But knowing doesn't stop people." Liam asked, "How much harder can it get?" 2 days later, the storm hit. Wind howled. Snow erased the streets. Power died in Sector TWO and Sector 4. Sandra's voice came over the emergency channel. "All available personnel to Sector TWO. Families trapped without heat." Liam grabbed his coat. Spark and Glass stood by the door. "You stay," Liam told them. They did not. "If you come," Liam said, "you follow my words." Both nodded once. Sector TWO was chaos. Habitats were dark and dropping toward lethal cold. Backup generators were frozen solid. Sandra shouted over the wind, "Fuel line is frozen. We need heat to thaw it." Liam knelt beside the twins. "Fire," he said, pointing. "Here. Focus." Spark exhaled a clean stream of flame. Ice hissed and melted. Glass joined, steadier, hotter. Liam yanked the starter cord. The generator roared. Heat poured into the first habitat. They did the next. Then the next. By dawn, all 3 habitats were warm. 12 people were alive. Because 2 dragons used fire to save. Phillips found Liam after, face pale. "My daughter was in there," he said. "I was wrong. I'm sorry." Liam nodded once. "Fear makes people stupid sometimes," he said. "We all do it." The colony's fear shifted into respect. Respect arrived in small, quiet ways. A merchant left a bag of meat scraps on Liam's step and walked away fast, pretending it was an accident. A child asked, voice trembling, "Can I touch the silver one?" Glass lowered its head and held still. The child touched cold scales, pulled back, then touched again, braver. Spark chirped like it had been praised and wagged its tail like it had been born a dog. By the end of the week, people stopped calling them predators. They started calling them brave. Liam did not care about words. He cared that no one tried to take his children in the night. 3 days later, a coded message arrived. "Not all Verkal agree with the Concord. Your compassion honors both species. Stay strong. You are not alone." Liam showed Talia. "That helps," she said. "If we get Verkal testimony, their sovereignty claim cracks." Someone did show up. A supply ship arrived. A young Verkal female stepped off, bright green scales, nervous eyes. "I am Seren," she said. "My brother was Eclipse-born. My parents wanted to release him. I helped him escape. Others did too." Seren handed Liam a data wafer. 15 families, she said. "They will testify. The protocol is extremism, not our whole culture." News leaked. A reporter arrived. Maya Chun, human, sharp and warm at the same time. She asked one question that cut through every speech. "What is Liam to you?" Spark looked at Glass. Glass looked at Liam. Spark said one human word, rough but clear. "Father." Glass nodded. "Father." The clip spread across human space. Liam watched the replay once, then shut it off. Not because he was ashamed. Because the word hit harder every time. Father. He had never planned for that. He had planned for blankets, medicine, and a locked door. Spark and Glass did not look uncertain. They leaned into him like it was settled law. For the first time, Liam understood the Concord's fear. If 2 dragons could choose their own family, then an empire built on shame could not stand. On Verkal worlds, young voices rose. Old elders shouted back. The empire cracked along a line it had pretended was not there. Before the tribunal, there were nights of practice. Talia called from her office and made Liam repeat answers until his voice went flat and clean. "Simple truth," she said. "No speeches. No anger. Anger gives them a story to sell." Liam hated that. He hated the idea that fury at cruelty could be used against him. But he did it. Spark and Glass practiced too. Spark struggled with human consonants, growling halfway through a word, then stopping and trying again, frustrated. Glass learned faster, not because it was smarter, but because it was patient. One night, Glass traced a human letter on the frost of the window and looked back at Liam, proud. Liam nodded. Good, he said. Clear words win fights. The tribunal convened on the orbital ring above Caldrim. Neutral ground. 3 judges. 1 human. 1 Verkal. 1 Chitic insectoid. The Concord called Liam a kidnapper. Talia answered with medical logs, photos of the shed, and Seren's testimonies. Then Spark and Glass spoke for themselves. We were left, Spark said. We waited. No one came. Then Liam came. He kept us alive. The human judge asked, where did the Concord want you returned? To the shed, Spark said. To disappearance. A Concord lawyer tried to object. Glass cut in, calm as ice. You told him to let nature finish us. We remember. The Verkal judge asked, he is not Verkal. How can he teach you our culture? Glass lifted its chin. What culture is worth keeping, Glass asked, if it demands children die for superstition? Silence. Spark stepped forward. We are dragons, Spark said. But Liam is our father. That is our choice. 2 hours later, the judges returned. The Verkal judge spoke first. Tradition is not a license for cruelty, he said. No culture is sovereign over a child's right to live. The human judge read the verdict. Unanimous vote. Liam Ross acted within moral and legal rights. The young were abandoned under colonial statute. Guardianship under emergency salvage doctrine is valid. Relief hit Liam so hard his knees went weak. And, the Verkal judge said, we recognize the bond between guardian and wards. Liam Ross is granted full parental rights until Spark and Glass reach adulthood. The Verkal Concord will cease interference. Cheers broke out. The Chitic judge clicked, sharp as stone. We also censure the Concord for endangerment. Immediate reform is recommended. Investigation into other released young is ordered. The Concord could not hide again. A year later, Caldrim was still cold. But it was not empty. Shelters were built. Families arrived. Eclipse-born hatchlings lived openly, loved and safe. Liam still lived in his small habitat. Spark and Glass lived next door in a converted warehouse with a high roof for wings. They still came for breakfast. You don't need me to cook, Liam said one morning. Glass answered, as always, like it was issuing law. Need and want are different. Spark grunted and kept eating. One afternoon, Liam saw a small figure crossing the snow. A hatchling. Pale yellow. Eyes wide with fear. Behind it walked a young mother, shoulders tight. Are you Liam? The hatchling asked in hesitant human speech. I am, Liam said. My mother says you protect children, the hatchling said. Even when the world says we are wrong. Liam's chest tightened. What's your name? He asked. Rhyme, the hatchling whispered. Rhyme, Liam said. That's a good name. He knelt, lowering himself. Are you hungry? Rhyme nodded. Come on, Liam said gently. Let's get you warm. He led them toward home. Spark and Glass were already at the door, as if they had sensed the need before Liam spoke it. Blankets. Food. Space. Welcome. That week, more arrived. Then more. Caldrim became what the old Concord feared most. A place where the cursed lived. Openly. Safely. Family by choice, not by superstition. One evening, Liam stood on a hill above the colony lights, watching children play in the snow. Scales and skin mixed together, laughing like the universe had finally been answered. Glass joined him. Do you regret it? Glass asked. Liam put an arm around Glass, then around Spark as it landed beside them. They leaned into him, warm and solid. Simple isn't always better, Liam said. You taught me that. Below them, Rhyme tried to fly, stumbled, stood, tried again. And the whole colony cheered. Because effort mattered. Because one choice mattered. The wind still screamed across Caldrim. But it did not feel like the end anymore. Family was louder. And he chose again.